Hello champions, welcome to our very first instructional video. Here is where we will build upon everything that we learned in the semester and continue to maintain and sharpen our skills. So I ask that you remain very positive and extend a great effort all the way until the end of the video. There is where I will give you all the information that we will need for next week. Welcome and enjoy. Hello champions! Today we're going to be focusing on using our efficient strategies to solve 3-digit addition problems 3 ways, okay? We're going to be going over our flat sticks and dots again, our expanded notation, and our number line. The first strategy that we're going to use to solve our 3-digit addition problems is going to be flat sticks and dots, alright? We'll do this in 4 easy steps. First step is going to be making our flat sticks and dots chart. When creating your flat sticks and dots chart, you want to have 3 columns, 1 for each place value, right? So if we're doing 2-digit numbers, we wouldn't have an H. If we were just doing 1-digit numbers, we wouldn't have a T. But because we're doing 3-digit addition, we will have a ones column, a tens column, and a hundreds column. Now we can move on to step 2, which is add flat sticks and dots to correct place value. We are going to take our add-ins from our equation 285 plus 582. We're going to add those flat sticks and dots into our chart for both of those numbers. So eventually we can add them all together. Let's start with 285. We have added our 285 worth of flat sticks and dots to our flat sticks and dots chart. I've used a blue marker to help us understand that 285 will be in the blue, right? So when we're adding our flat sticks and dots to the chart, we want to start with our ones place, then our tens place, then our hundreds place. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tens, and then we have 1, 2 hundreds. So 285 is completely in the chart. Now that we have added our 582 flat sticks and dots to our flat sticks and dots chart, everything is in the correct place value. Now we can begin adding the place values together and regrouping if necessary. So with step 3, our job is to add each individual place value, all of those values together that are in that same column, and continue all the way down the line, all the way to the hundredths place. So our first step is starting with the ones, counting all of the ones in that first column. We'll do it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ones. There are 7 ones in our ones column for our flat sticks and dots chart. Then we'll move over to the tens. Let's count them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now, when we have 16 tens, we need to regroup. Anytime that we have a place value that is more than 9, we must regroup. So, let's go ahead and count our tens to regroup them. Each time we regroup, we make sure that we're sending 10 of the items in the place value over to the next place value. So let's go ahead and carve out 10 of our tens so we can move them to the next place value. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We want to take this whole bottom part here and move this over to this side. This is called regrouping. So, when we regroup, we are going to take those 10 that we moved over there, put them into a box so we know which ones that we regrouped, and then we're going to go ahead and add a flat right over there to the hundred side because we're taking 10 away from the tens and we're putting them in the hundreds. 10 tens equal 100, and we want to know where that flat came from, so we'll make sure to put a T in there because we know that they came from the tens. So, the last thing that we need to do here with the tens, go ahead and count how many tens we have left over. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens. So 6 tens is 60. And then we go ahead, cross these out, so we know not to use them again, okay? Alright, lastly we have our hundreds column, and we still have to count up our flats there. So let's go ahead and do that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we have 8 hundreds in our hundreds column. So this number, 8 hundreds, 60 tens or 6 tens, and 7 ones, we don't say our numbers like that. We do not. So we need to write this number in standard form so we can correctly answer this equation. 285 plus 582 equals what? Okay, we want a standard form number. So in the ones place, we would write a 7 because it's 7 ones. In the tens place, we'd write a 6 because we had 6 tens left over after we regrouped. And then in the hundreds place, we'd write an 8 because after we regrouped, we had 8 hundreds left, 800 worth of flats. So our final answer should come out to be 867. Now we can go ahead and try another strategy to see if we have properly solved this equation. Let's go ahead and move to our expanded notation. We can solve our equation 285 and 582 with expanded notation in 3 easy steps. Alright? Step 1, write add-ins in expanded notation and put them in equation format. Our equation format includes both of our add-ins on top of each other, very well lined up, so we know which place values we're adding together at each point. We will start with the ones place. Now that we are at step 2 in our expanded notation strategy, we're going to add each place value together. So, starting with the ones, 5 plus 2, we're so smart, we know that that's 7. That's super easy, we know that. And then we go over to the tens, we have 80 plus 80. Now, 80 plus 80, let's go ahead and solve that one. 80 plus 80, we should get 160. Now, is 160 bigger than 9 or 90? Yes. So that must mean that we're going to regroup this box here. We're going to do some regrouping there. Now, when we regroup, we're going to do the same thing like we did on our flat 6 and dots. We're going to take 100 of the tens and regroup them over to the hundreds place. Now, once we do that, then we have a number that is smaller than 9, or 90 rather, right? And that is 60. So we're going to take that 60, write it down here, maintain that expanded notation format. Then we're going to just put a little line through that 100 so we know that we're not using that again, all right? And now we're off to the hundreds. So, hundreds place value, of course, 2 zeros is the hundreds. We need to add up the hundreds place here. We have 5 plus 2 plus 1. That should give us 800. 860 plus 7. So 800 plus 60 plus 7. But of course, that's not how we write our numbers. We want to move on to step 3, solve to standard form. Right now, this number is in expanded notation, and we want to write it in standard form. So we write the ones number and the ones place value, the 60 and the tens place value as a 6, and then we write the hundreds as an 8 and the hundreds place value. And we should get 867. You guys go ahead and check that answer and make sure we got it correct from our flat 6 and dots. For our last efficient strategy, we're going to use a number line. We're going to follow 3 simple steps to solving with our number line strategy efficiently. Step 1, make the number line like so. We put arrows at both ends of our number lines because number lines are continuous, all right? So I am recommending that we go ahead and put the bigger number on the number line and then use the smaller number for our jumps, like this. Once we have added the bigger add-in to our number line, we can begin doing our jumps, which brings us to step 2. So if we are to jump efficiently, we're going to do 3 jumps. 1 for the ones, 1 for the tens, and then 1 for the hundreds. We have added our bigger number to our number line. Now we'll move over to step 2. Jump efficiently, starting with ones, tens, and then 100s. So we should have a total of 3 jumps on our number line. We will start with the ones place. And our smaller number, first jump will be plus 5. plus 5. Down here, we are writing where our jumps land, right? So, 582 plus 5 gives us 587. Now, when we go ahead and add the tens, we're going to have to regroup our tens and hundreds. Go ahead and do the math for where our second jump will land. Alright, champions, after you've done your stellar math, you should have gotten to still a 7 in the ones place, and then a 6 in the tens place, and then because we regrouped some of our tens over to the hundreds place, we should have landed at 667. Now, for the last part, our hundreds place, we have 2 hundreds that we need to add. Let's create that jump. 667 plus 200, the only place value that should change is the hundreds place. 6 plus 2 should give us 800, so 8 in the hundreds place, and then we don't change any of the other place values because we only added the hundreds there. We should have gotten 867. So our step 3 to solve, we should have gotten the answer 867. Now it is your turn. Please take a moment to solve each of these equations on a scratch sheet of paper using 2 of your efficient strategies on each one of these equations. So, you would either use your flat sticks and dots, your expanded notation, or your number line to solve each and every one of these. Please use all 3 while solving all 10 of these problems. So, for example, on the first one, you might use a number line initially, and then the second time to check your answer you would use expanded notation, or you would use expanded notation on the first go around, and then you would use flat sticks and dots to check your answer. Either way, you're going to be using all of the strategies that we learned today to make sure you are efficiently solving your equations. Good luck to you. Thank you for making it all the way to the end of our video. Go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back. Yes, a very good pat because you deserve it. Now, as you know, next week we will have our parent-teacher conferences, so we will actually not have any direct instruction with our teachers from Monday and Tuesday. But on Wednesday, we will be implementing a new hangout time for Wise Champion Wednesday. And there, we will talk about our answers, or maybe the things that we're struggling with, or maybe just some stories about how we're using our efficient strategies. So, our Touch Base Tuesday will be canceled this week due to the parent-teacher conferences. Please be on the lookout for our weekly newsletter that comes out every single Monday that will reiterate everything that we learned today and the schedule for next week. I look forward to meeting with all of you. I look forward to hearing about all of your comments about our videos to help them be better. You know, we're always trying to get better. We're champions all the way around. And I look forward to next week. You guys have a great week. I'll see you next time.